Beating a video game is always a special feeling. There is satisfaction, sometimes pride, or even a hint of bitterness. But one thing's for sure, finishing a game usually takes time. We're talking about several hours, and sometimes even dozens of hours. Now imagine someone, somewhere, finishing that very same game in just a few minutes. Seems crazy, right? Yet, that's exactly what speedrunning is all about. The art of finishing games as fast as humanly possible. Today, you can actually beat Ocarina of Time in under 4 minutes, instead of the usual 20 hours. No cheats, no hacks, just pure skill, mastering every pixel and detail of the game. A speedrunner doesn't just play a game, they completely break it down. It's not just playing fast, it's redefining the rules of the game. Like highly bird sports, yesterday's perfection can quickly become outdated, thanks to an unexpected glitch or surprising new trick. But what truly motivates these players? The adrenaline, the competition, or the quest for perfection? Probably a mix of all of that, and maybe even a bit more. Let's start with some context. Where does speedrunning come from? It all started back in the 70s with arcade games like Pac-Man, Space Invaders, or Galaga. Out of pure competitive spirit, players aimed for the highest possible scores. At first, it was just a personal challenge, a way to prove your skills and proudly leave your initials at the top of the scoreboard. Then, things got interesting in the 80s, with the first traces of actual speedruns. Darrell D.P. Sampson completed Montezuma's Revenge on Atari 2600 in just 4 minutes and 59 seconds, a record knowledge by other players. Also informal, this could very well be one of the first speedruns ever recorded. But let's be honest, it was NES games like Super Mario Bros. And Metroid that truly kick off the speed obsession. Metroid even introduced rewards based on completion times. The best endings were reserved for the fastest players. This pushed gamers to optimize their gameplay, setting the stage for modern speedrunning. Phenomenon really exploded in the 90s, beginning in 1992 with Full-Fledged 3D, which included beating records set by developer John Romero, motivating players to beat his times. Then came 1993, the real turning point. For the first time ever, a game allowed players to record and share their runs easily. The goal was simple: complete levels as quickly as possible and achieve the best times. To give you some context, these games afforded unprecedented freedom at the time, allowing players to discover alternative routes and exploit mechanics intended by developers. Quickly records emerged, and players spent countless hours fine-tuning their strategies. In 1994, Christina Norman created the LMP Hall of Fame, an FTP server to compile Doom speedrun demos, laying the foundation for the first leaderboards. With the rise of the internet, things escalated further. In April 1997, Nolan Radix Pfeffer created Nightmare Speed demos to track quick speedruns on the highest difficulty. Just a few months later, in June, he launched Quake Don't Quick and published a full game demo that introduced speedrunning to a wider audience. Less than a year later, in April 1998, Nightmare Speed Demos merged with another site to become Speed Demos Archive, initially focusing on Quake speedrun. In the early 2000s, everything accelerated with the launch of classic game Don't Quick, the first charity event combining speedrunning and fundraising, laying the groundwork for modern charity marathons. In 2002, the release of Metroid Prime inadvertently coined the term sequence breaking, doing things out of the intended order to finish faster, a key technique that would redefine gameplay. 2003 was another big year. Morimoto's tool-assisted speedrun of Super Mario Bros. 3 gained massive attention, popularizing tool-assisted speedrun and showcasing superhuman performances. Till in 2003, Speed Demos Archive started accepting runs from all games, significantly broadening its scopes beyond just Quake and Metroid Prime, opening up the speedrunning world to a vast community. Why not directly related? The launch of YouTube in 2005 made it easier to share speedrun videos, increasing visibility and accessibility dramatically. Gradually, communities formed around specific games, such as The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. They extensively documented glitches on Speed Demo Archive and YouTube, shrinking completion times from 5 hours to less than 20 minutes. on January 1st, 2010. The Demos Archive launched Awesome Games Done Quick, AGDQ, a charity speedrunning marathon raising funds for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, drawing thousands of viewers and raising $10,000 in its first edition. 2011 marks the launch of two major sites that significantly boost speedrunning's popularity, which a live streaming platform for sharing speedruns live and interacting with viewers, and speedrun.com, today's central hub for leaderboards across thousands of games with hundreds of thousands of global users. In 2013, the rising popularity of speedrunning led to the creation of Summer Games Done Quick, supporting Doctors Without Borders and doubling the annual GDQ events. Some game studios even took things a step further. Developers behind games like Celeste integrated built-in speedrun modes, acknowledging and supporting the practice. Today, speedrunning blends competition, collaboration, and spectacle, with a global community active on Twitch, YouTube, and Discord. Events like AGDQ continue to evolve. New games regularly emerge as popular targets, and records keep getting broken all the time. But speedrunning isn't just about fun and breaking records. Behind these incredible performances lie hundreds, even thousands of hours of practice, failures, frustration, patience, and resilience. It's a discipline that pushes gamers to a level of perfection few other activities require, almost like high-level sports. One major goal for speedrunners is achieving a perfect run. This means repeating the same sequence over and over until it's mastered perfectly. Every move, every mistake is analyzed to save a few precious seconds. Speedrunning often requires months of tirelessly repeating the same section or technique until it becomes flawless. Games like Celeste or Dark Souls demand extreme precision and mental endurance. The perfect run can fall apart in an instant. One poorly executed jump, one failed dodge, or one unpredictable enemy can wipe out hours of effort in seconds. Yet, it's exactly this pursuit of perfection that makes speedrunning so captivating and addictive. I touched on it earlier, but let's emphasize the community aspect again. Since 2010, platforms like Twitch have allowed top speedrunners to gather for charity marathon. Events like Games Done Quick now draw millions of viewers and raise millions of dollars for charity. These marathons are more than just competitions, they are human adventures. Each run is accompanied by cheers from passionate audience and massive online communities. Since its inception, AGDQ has raised over $54 million for various charities like the Prevent Cancer Foundation and Doctors Without Borders. AGDQ has paved the way for speedrunning communities worldwide. Similar events have sprung up everywhere, such as Summer Games Done Quick, the summer counterpart to AGDQ, and international marathons like France Speedrun, which in 2025 raised $2 million for Médecins du Monde for the second year running, or Japan's RTA in Japan Summer, supporting Doctors Without Borders. All these events demonstrate that speedrunning isn't just about competition. It's a real community movement. Beyond the millions raised, these events have fostered a true culture of sharing and mutual support within the gaming community. Each run offers an opportunity to explain strategies and techniques to the public, making speedrunning accessible to everyone. Today, many gamers get into speedrunning after watching this marathon. If you're thinking about diving into speedrunning yourself, you should know there are several different categories, each with its own rules, techniques, and challenges. Each category demands unique skills and approaches. What's impressive in one category might even be forbidden in another. Let's start with the most famous category, any percent. Here, anything goes as long as it's fast. Glitches, bugs, invisible walls. Whatever breaks the game and shortens the runs is fair game. Take Super Mario 64, where players literally clip through walls to finish the game in just minutes. Every new discovery can drastically change a run, smashing records overnight. If any person feels too chaotic, the glitchless category offers a cleaner experience. No glitches or exploits allowed. Just absolute mastery of gameplay. Imagine glitchless run in The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, where each fight and puzzle demands surgical precision. For some players, finishing quickly isn't enough. They want to finish everything. The 100% category is even for perfectionists and maybe masochists. Unlike any percent, you must collect every item, explore every location, and complete every quest. Imagine collecting all moons in Super Mario Odyssey, or every single Korok seed in Breath of the Wild. If you're tempted, that's around 15 hours. It's a marathon where every second counts, and each decision must be meticulously planned well in advance. 100% runs require as much endurance as speed, along with perfect game knowledge. But if that's still not enough challenge for you, I have something. Then there is the ultimate hardcore category. No death, no hit. Imagine beating a game without dying, or wolf without taking a single hit. It's as brutal as it sounds, especially in games like Dark Souls or Elden Ring. It's the ultimate challenge. One tiny mistake, and the whole run crashes down. But believe it or not, some runners push your madness even further. Welcome to the Gold One, the absolute pinnacle. This involves completing several extremely difficult games back-to-back, like Dark Souls, Bloodborne and Sekiro, without taking a single hit. It's an insane challenge demanding superhuman focus and flawless execution. Reserved for the most daring and maybe slightly crazy players out there. But don't worry, there are more chill ways to speedrun too. The low percent category follows the less is more philosophy. You complete the game using as few items or upgrades as possible. For example, in Super Metroid, players finish the game with just a handful of essential items. It forces creativity as players discovered entirely new solutions to progress. Finally, if you love technical creativity, the tool-assisted speedrun might be for you. Using computer software, you can perform actions beyond human limits. Watching a task is like witnessing magic perfect, spectacular, and completely surreal. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. Each game can have unique categories, but every category provides a different thrill and attracts different types of players. Some emphasize pure speed, others survival or meticulous exploration. What is certain is that all of them demand total commitment and deep game knowledge. These categories aren't just about complicating things, they allow runners to choose the challenge that fits them best, creating true diversity in our games our approach. They also provide clear benchmark, making records meaningful and comparable. Ultimately, every speedrunning category offers a unique way to rediscover a game from a totally fresh angle. So, how exactly do speedrunners bend the rules of games? The goal isn't just going fast, it's about understanding the game mechanics even better than the developers themselves, anticipating scripted events, optimizing strategies, and sometimes even exploiting the game's glitches. Every speedrun relies on near scientific knowledge of a game's inner workings. To achieve this, players use advanced techniques that takes countless hours of training and analysis. Think controlling randomness sounds impossible? Think again. Manipulating the RNG lets players influence random events, like item drops, specific enemy spawns, or even random encounters at precise moments. By performing certain actions at exact timings, like opening a chest at the perfect millisecond, or defeating an enemy precisely when needed, players can control randomness. RPGs like Pokémon heavily rely on this, making rare items or encounters predictable. Then there is frame-perfect inputs, the art of perfect timing. Imagine having to press a button at exactly the right fraction of a second. A single mistake and everything falls apart. Speedrunners practice these moves hundreds of times, developing muscle memory and robotic precision. This technique is mind-blowing in games like Super Mario Bros., where every action needs perfect accuracy. Personally, what I love most about speedrunning is how it breaks the rules of the game through glitches. Players exploit bugs to skip entire levels or teleport directly to the ending. Take the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, where the famous glitch known as the Wong Warp allows runners to finish the normally lengthy game in just a few minutes instead of 30 hours. If you wanted to walk through walls, speedrunners can, by precisely interacting with the environment. They manage to pass through solid objects or completely leave the game's boundaries. This allows access to areas normally unreachable, drastically cutting down per time. Games like Skyrim or Fallout are famous for these kinds of exploits. Another way players trick the game's logic is sequence breaking, popularizing by Metroid Prime. Runners complete missions in a totally different order than the developer's intent. By cleverly exploiting game's mechanics, they skip entire chapters, completing the games without fulfilling mandatory tasks. These techniques turn familiar games into experimental playgrounds, pushing the limits further every day. With some genius, patience, and courage, even the wildest exploits become possible. But like every great discipline, speedrunning shines brightest during legendary moments that become etched into gaming history. A player named Michael Sigler attempts something incredible in Super Mario 64, collecting all 120 stars to complete the game 100% in under 2 hours. For a casual player, achieving this takes mostly 20 hours. But Siglimic's challenge was about precision and speed, and managed it in about 1 hour and 43 minutes, a nearly perfect run at AGDQ 2013. With his Nintendo 64 controller in hand, Siglimic raced through level like a well-oiled machine. Every move was optimized to perfection. No mistakes allowed. He effortlessly performed the legendary backward long jump, propelling Mario at lightning speed to save precious seconds. His precision felt choreographed. Every jump, every punch seemed perfectly synced. 1 hour and 43 minutes later, Bowser was defeated. Screen fades to black, credits roll. He did it. Siglimic set an extraordinary world record. Thousands of viewers on Twitch exploded with joy, witnessing story live. This legendary run inspired countless speedrunners, proving that dedication could push gaming to incredible new heights. Even though others have since broken his records, that night, Siglimic became a speedrunning legend. Next up, January 2014, again at Awesome Games Done Quick. On stage, Sinister One sits in the front of a nest loaded with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. But there is a twist. He's wearing a tight blindfold. Is he really going to finish one of the Dorset NES games without saying anything? Punch-Out is notorious for its difficulty. Every opponent has specific attack patterns, and one mistake can mean a KO. Sinister One's memorized every pattern, every sound. Glass Jaw, King Hippo, Piston Honda. He recognized their movements and punches by ears. Each fight became a dance, listening carefully, dodging perfectly, landing precise counterattacks. The crowd hung onto every 8-beat sound, sharing louder with each win. Finally, the ultimate fight against Mike Tyson. The tension was palpable. Sinister One listened closely, dodging devastating punches purely by sound. But Tyson wasn't predictable. One tiny mistake and bam! Tyson's punch sent him down. He removed the blindfold and finished the fight visually, to roaring applause. Even without a fully blindfold victory against Tyson, Sinister Swan's run was legendary. The audience gave him standing ovation, amazed by this achievement. This moment made blindfolded runs popular, inspiring the community to push gaming boundaries even further. Sinister One became an icon of creativity and boldness, showing that speedrunning is all about pushing limits. Finally, let's jump back to AGDQ 2013. Cosmo White, now known as NASA White, tackled a gaming giant, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Normally, players spend dozens of hours completing this adventure. Cosmo aimed to finish it in just about 18 minutes. Right from the start, Cosmo pulled off strange moves. He set up the legendary wrong warp glitch. Imagine Link entering a magical portal straight to the final battle we began on. Cosmo immediately faced the final bosses without traditional equipment, leaving the audience stunned. But what truly made the run legendary was Cosmo's live commentary, calmly explaining each step and glitch as it happened, making the impossible seem perfectly logical. This run quickly gained fame, featured by gaming media like Kotaku and IGN, introducing speedrunning to many new fans. Cosmo's performance inspired a new generation of players to explore the hidden secrets of their favorite games, cementing Awesome Games Done Quick as an unmissable event. What can we learn from these 3 legendary runs? Above all, there is no single way to become a speedrunning hero. Siglimik amazes us with his flawless technique and relentless persistence. Sinister One shows us that creativity could completely reinvent how we approach a game. Finally, Cosmo revealed the hidden side of one of our favorite games, but it was its friendly, educational commentary that truly made speedrunning history. Each of these feats has shaped the history of speedrunning in their own unique way. They have inspired new players, brought communities together, and constantly pushed the boundaries of what's possible. Even today, speedrunning continues to evolve. New records are broken regularly, and new ways to play are constantly emerging. Speedrunning is so much more than just beating a game quickly. It's a quest for perfection, a battle against yourself. Each run is an intense fight, not just against the game's boundaries, but also your own mistakes, impatience, and sometimes even exhaustions. Yet despite the difficulty and repeated failures, speedrunners keep coming back. Why? Because completing a perfect run, even in a game you know inside out, gives an unmatched feeling of accomplishment. It's the ultimate proof that dedication, patience, and ingenuity always pay off. So here a question for you. If you had to speedrun a game, which one would you choose? Would it be a timeless classic like Super Mario 64? Or a hardcore challenge like Dark Souls? Or maybe a game no one's dared to master yet? Let me know in the comments which game you love to speedrun. Or tell me simply about the run that inspired you the most. Now it's time to speedrun that subscribe button. The next video is already loading.
For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake. And the